Hello and welcome to another installment of the Siebel CRM Update Series, brought to you by the Siebel Hub, the #1 resource for always up-to-date Siebel CRM training. With the Siebel CRM 23.3 update, Oracle provides us with a host of much welcome bug fixes, documentation updates, and one official feature. The addition of the EIM table mapping wizard as the second assistant in the browser-based Siebel Web Tools application might come as a surprise. More on that in a moment. Another noteworthy area of update activity is the Oracle Siebel documentation, aka Siebel Bookshelf. Depending on your area of work, you might want to check out the updated EIA guides, Performance Tuning Guide, or System Administration Guide. Here at the Siebel Hub Learning Experience Bureau, the team is giddy about the addition of the Siebel Cloud Manager Guide to the public Siebel Bookshelf. Siebel Web Tools continues to be a beehive of activity, as Oracle Engineering keeps adding features to reach the goal of providing all functionality currently in Siebel Tools, quote from the Siebel 22 Statement of Direction. In 23.3, this goal comes nearer with the addition of the EIM table mapping wizard, increasing the count of task-based UI assistants in Siebel Web Tools to 2. Why Oracle chose this particular wizard to be the next after introducing the Web Service Import wizard in 21.4 is not disclosed, but the Configuring Siebel Guide and Bookshelf contains a hint at what might be the reason. In a side note, the Bookshelf documentation states that later updates will have workspace-enabled tables and projects will be removed. This might be an indication that Oracle is working at expanding workspaces to support tables and other schema-related objects in the near future. Siebel architects are in for a treat as the updated System Administration Guide contains a super detailed engineering perspective on the inner workings of the Siebel application interface. If you ever struggled with understanding the 3 different Tomcat roles, AI, Config Agent, and Gateway, this chapter is highly recommended. Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, OCI, is becoming a household name, and many Siebel CRM customers are contemplating partial or full migration of their on-prem deployments to Oracle's data centers. Siebel Cloud Manager, SCM, was introduced in summer 2022 to assist with greenfield and lift and shift scenarios for deploying Siebel CRM Oracle Kubernetes Engine, OKE. SCM not only lays down a container-based Siebel architecture, but also comes with a substantial change in how Siebel enterprise configuration data is managed. Yes, that's the part with Helm charts, GitLab, and Flux controllers. Siebel Bookshelf 23.3 and higher now includes the Siebel Cloud Manager Guide, so the general public can stay informed about this interesting product. If you're interested in learning more about Siebel Cloud Manager, we have good news for you. The Siebel Hub Learning Experience will shortly include a new video training module on Siebel Cloud Manager. Stay tuned on our social channels and this video's description for more details. And there you have it. Siebel 23 is off to a great start, and so is the Siebel Hub Learning Experience. Check out the updated Siebel Hub curriculum, including the Siebel 23+ workshop, which provides Siebel practitioners with all the information they need to work with the latest Siebel CRM updates. Go to siebelhub.com and start learning today.
Hi, it's Alex from the Siebel Hub, and today we are going to answer the old question: is it an upgrade or an update? So let's see. As of Siebel 23 and higher, you have upgrade or update pass depending on the version you're currently on. So if you have 7.5, 7.7, that's really old, that's 20 years and older, so you're in for a 2-step upgrade according to the upgrade guide in Bookshelf. If you are slightly higher, 7.8 to 8.2, you still have to do a 1-step full upgrade, and for both, you're still on high interactivity on Internet Explorer, unbelievable. Yes, you have to go to OpenUI as well. The 2-step upgrade takes you to 8.1.1, and if you have that, or any other version up to IP16, you're in for what's known as an incremental repository merge, or IRM. So all of these are upgrades, and that means to go from these versions to the latest 20.3, this is a month-long project measured in person months or person years, and we're not here to cover all of it. You need to get professional help from consulting and Oracle to get your upgrade project on the way and get to the latest Siebel CRM. So if you already are on IP17 or anything higher than that, including 18, 19, 20, you name it, then we talk about updates. And an update is measured in person days. It's just a matter of a few days to get your environment from that older version to the latest 23.x or higher. So let's dive a little bit into the update paths that we have. So there are a few mandatory steps you have to take. You have to make sure you back up your environment database, then you run what's known as the modular deployment engine, or MDE, which does all the binary stuff really. And then you run the post-install database update. This is mandatory and it updates your database. That's why I take a backup with schema, seed data, and manifest data that brings in, well, the mandatory stuff that Oracle has developed since your last version. Now there are a few optional steps as well, depending on your implementation, such as running the repository upgrade that you decide upon information from Oracle in the release notes or bookshelf, and it runs only on the development environment and brings new, well, repository stuff into your repository along with schema, seed data, and manifest. If you have to follow some configuration instructions from Oracle, you also do that in the DR environment. In any environment, there could be any known issues that you need to fix, and administrative changes might also be on your menu. So let's look at the development update in greater detail. You start with backing up your environment and database. Make sure you have a safe point to go back to. You shut down the software on that machine, Siebel server, gateway, or AI, and then you run the MDE, typically on the first Siebel server, because that's where the post-install database update runs as well. It has to be run once per database, and if that doesn't complete successfully, you have to rinse and repeat until that's successful. Then you run the MDE to update any other Siebel software, any other Siebel servers, gateways, AIs, and don't forget Siebel tools or developer web client or mobile web client. Then it's time to start up that development enterprise so you can decide if you have a repository upgrade. Now let's do the fast track. Let's say, no, we don't need a repository upgrade. We have no configuration instructions, no administrative changes. That will mean we're done with the development update. But there might be just a longer path. So when you have decided to run the repository upgrade, you of course have to run it, and successfully so. If there are any config instructions, that's developer work in web tools too, and that has to be tested and delivered. Now, administrative changes depend on what version you are, what features you're using. So let's say you have some, and then you of course have to implement them. And now we're done. Now let's take a look at test or production or RR environments. We start with a backup, shut down the software, run the modular deployment engine in update mode on the first Siebel server to get that post-install database update out of the way. And then we update any other instances of Siebel CRM that you have in that environment. Start up the environment. If there have been no repository changes and no administrative changes to do, we are done. Now, the longer path is, of course, if you had repository changes, you need to go and fire up that migration application to migrate the repository, and don't forget the C data changes from the development to the RR environment. Make sure you test that thoroughly, and if you have any administrative changes, depending on your implementation, you have to implement those. And then we're done with the update of a test or production environment.